Hello everybody, I'm back here. I wanted to do a quick little update video for my Cobra. I got a steal on a 2.2 Kenny Bell, so I picked one of those up. I wasn't really planning on upgrading the blower this year, but it just worked out that way, and you get that itch and you know how you gotta scratch it. So I'm going to show you a lot of the stuff that I did and are in the process of still doing for the install of this Kenny Bell. Of course I already have it on the car and everything's pretty rich, ready to go, but I'll go over a few things here. I did do the evap line delete on this side here, so it's now completely open and there's nothing here with an EGR delete. I still have to pick up the kit and bolt it on and bolt it onto the header too. But that's pretty much, I'll show that real quick. Nothing on the side of the blower, which looks really good. Another thing I was working on for quite a while was this oil separator setup here. What I did was I ended up picking up a couple of the separators from Harbor Freight. What sucked about those is they were pressure oriented at the valve at the bottom. So I had to mod that valve and make it so it was always shut. Anyways, you could probably just find one that isn't like that and use those. I put in a new PCV valve. I'm going to show you why I've got a new one, but I ran it through and up and over, and I got a T right here for now, but that's just because I don't have an elbow. Anyways, I did delete the bottom line that's coming off of the lower intake, so it's deleted, it's gone. And so now it's got a separator in it. All the lines look really nice and new and everything. So I'm going to go to the other side and show you a few things I had to take care of too. Now when I got the blower on, I realized that my IAC valve wiring and my throttle position wiring were too short, so I had to actually cut these off and put an extension in there and weld it or solder in some new wiring so I can get more length out of this, because it was too short, so I couldn't plug them in. So I had to extend those. Now over here, I haven't quite put everything back together yet. I got to put some zip ties here, but I got my boost gauge and my vacuum and my evap system all hooked up properly. Now remember, some things on your vehicle need to see a boost reference from the lower part of the intake, and some of them only need to be vacuum. So if you get them mixed up, you're going to end up putting boost to places that it doesn't need to be, or you're not going to actually get a boost reading and you're going to think there might be issues. But I can probably show you that in a second. Here, I'm going to show you that. Back here, pretty much past the intake and down at the blower, this lower part where it's in the lower intake is where your boost rating is going to come from. So that's where that is. You're going to have to look at schematics and do yours properly, how you got to do it. A lot of people just end up keeping this all pretty much original and stock anyways, so you can do that and you shouldn't have any issues. But mine's all deleted, all nice and clean. I would probably have to estimate between $60 and $80 so far on getting the vacuum hoses and lines and pieces I needed. So I would expect to pay, if you were going to do the vacuum delete with the EGR delete kit from Lethal, you're probably going to be about $100 to do that. So it's not too bad, but regardless, it takes a lot of time though to deal with and make sure your lines are going to the right spots. I'm going to show you another thing. Right now my intake is actually being welded and painted and processed. It's going to be a modded CNL, so it's actually all aluminum intake. It's just going to be a ram air. You'll see it when I eventually get it, but it's in the process of getting refinished. Another thing I'm going to have to do is I had to have that welded up because I had to weld some of the vacuum ports on it closed, and also the intake air temperature sensor was on the top of it. And with the Kenny Bell blower, I can't run it at the top because it puts the whole tube too high and it hits the hood. So that was one thing that's going to have to get drilled under the bottom and then put on. Another thing I'm going to show you is I got another little separator hidden under here, and this separator is going to be ran off of this side. Some people, they talk about this side not needing them, or they should be a certain height over, the intake manifold itself, but regardless, it's going to work, and I'll just have to monitor what kind of oil amount is getting stuck in here and just make sure I don't ever get any oil in the intake track. But that's what the separators are there for. When I have my intake tube done, I'll do another video and I'll show how my PCV and my vacuum lines for that, not vacuum, but how my PCV setup is. I'm going to show you why I bought another PCV if I can find my other one. So I don't know where it is. Oh. Oh, here it is. Alright, so this is a factory PCV valve, and why I got an aftermarket one was just because I ran to the store, but I'm actually going to grind this end off of this and pull the PCV valve apart, and I'm going to pull the internal parts out of this, and this way I have the perfect elbow to stick on this, and this is going to run down to my separator. So I'm still not done with that because I'm still not done with my intake tube yet, but that's pretty much it. I still got to do some belt sizing, get my belt sized up and get the right one. I already know the I have two different sizes I can run with a 293 pulley. So I'm just waiting on, I'll probably just buy both the belts and then size those. My intercooler tank's still out because it's getting refinished and painted. And obviously I have it out so I can put my belt back on. That's pretty much it for right now. I have a booster pump video I'm starting, and now I'm going to start making some more videos now that I'm closer to the end of this install on my blower. I am running 60-pound injectors. I'm not going too crazy with the car right now. I can't run E85 around here, so that's why I said, you know what, I'll just keep it so it runs good and it'll make good power. But until E85 shows up in my neighborhood, I'm not going to take it any bigger than that. And I do have a whole nother fuel system to put in the car right now, but I didn't use it yet. So anyways, you guys enjoy some of the videos. Any questions or comments, post up and I will reply to them as soon as I can. Thanks guys, and don't forget to subscribe.